Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
PROPHECast is produced by Bobgrenville. Thank you, Bob. Hi. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Dave. David, hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And hey to the people listening. And welcome.
Welcome to the first and only podcast about the prophecy.
Do you think?
Probably.
Should we Google it?
No.
Okay.
I'm feeling confident enough in that claim that this is the first, best, and greatest podcast about the prophecy film series.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm willing to accept that.
I'm
too.
pretty confident in it. Yeah. I don't need to second guess myself.
Yeah. This is hi everyone. This is a 4 episode miniseries about the prophecy films. Kind of like how we've done with previous series, which we're going to call our shot now, which will be the prophecy for this episode, the prophecy 2 for the next one, prophecy 3, aka the ascent, and then we're going to wrap up Uprising and Forsaken for the final episode. And I know you're wondering, wait, there's 5 prophecy films? And the answer is, I guess. That's neat.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently there's 5 of these things.
Yeah. This first one, Tom, did you recognize the director?
No.
Gregory Wyden apparently also wrote the script for Highlander.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. This seems like the kind of bullshit he would come up with.
Yes. This feels very Highlander to me.
It does.
It's a series that I don't know if there's a fan base for. I just don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to care if we're screaming into the void here.
Yeah, we very well might be. I had no preconceptions of this film. Knowing that it's from the writer of the original Highlander, my expectations have now been pointed in a very specific direction.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy really likes some bullshit, you know? Yeah, we know at least one person is listening to this. So yeah, we're gonna go through the prophecies, films that I don't know. I had never planned to watch. Had you seen any of these?
No.
I think I watched The Prophecy once, because I remember Viggo Mortensen's performance as Lucifer. Spoilers.
Yeah.
This movie has a crazy cast.
Yes, it does. And not a single one of them returns for any of the sequels except for Christopher Walken.
Except for Christopher Walken, who's going to stay with us for 3 movies.
Yeah.
But this movie, along with Christopher Walken, has Virginia Madsen, Eric Stoltz, Viggo Mortensen, Adam Goldberg.
Yep. Amanda Plummer.
Yeah, and Casey Jones.
Yeah, Elias Koteas.
Yeah. Elias Koteas is the main character of this movie.
Pretty much.
And I was like, what is that? Is that Priest De Niro? And then I realized, oh shit, it's Casey Jones.
It's Casey Jones wearing just an incredible hairpiece.
Yes. I guess let's get into it, Tom.
Let's plunge our fists into the chest cavity of the prophecy.
Yeah. Well, first, okay, before we get into our first section, I do want to ask you just like, how did you like this movie?
It was fine.
Okay. We're on the same page.
Yeah, it was fine. Sections of it were pretty boring, but Christopher Walken is extremely entertaining. As was Viggo.
As was Viggo, for sure. All right, let's get into our first section, which we're calling the Holy Text. This is just going through the film because I'm willing to bet that a lot of the people listening haven't seen The Prophecy.
No, that's probably a guarantee. So we could almost even call this like, what was it, the 23rd chapter that he finds in the new Bible? But we settled on the holy text, so.
We can change things. Things can be changed. I think our last section we can constantly change the name for.
Yes.
So this is about a... Okay, I'm going to give it a shot, Tom, which means you're going to have to do the next film.
Mm-hmm.
This is about a ex-seminary student turned detective in L.A.? I believe it's L.A.
It's super unclear.
Yeah. I thought I saw the LA skyline, and they're near the desert.
That's true, but like that part of the movie's in like Arizona.
Yeah, I just figured because he starts in a city and then he gets, I don't know, it could be anywhere, but he gets involved with angels. There's a war of angels, and one of them, Eric Stoltz, named Simon, shows up to his apartment and warns him. And then he gets in a fight with another angel. They find the angel's body. And the... Jesus Christ. And then Gabriel shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, resurrects a man who's committing suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Adam Goldberg, and makes him his slave.
We need to clarify. Did you clarify that Christopher Walken is Gabriel?
Did I thought I just said he's Gabriel. I don't know. Gabriel, and what we find out is there's a second war of the angels where, I mean, we'll save this for our next section. I'm going to go ahead and say unclear the reason behind the war. But there's an old army general who's apparently like a very powerful soul for this war.
Just the most evil soul that has ever existed, apparently.
Yes.
Is this army colonel.
Not like Hitler.
Well,
it's this guy.
In 1995. He sort of missed his window to get Hitler.
That's fair. But they say the war has been happening for thousands of years. Doesn't matter. So they need his soul, and Eric Stoltz sucks the guy off. He sucks his soul out of his body after he's died. At his funeral, no one notices. It's unclear if he can be invisible. And then he hides out in a school and blows the soul into a little girl who is Native American. Mm-hmm. And she falls ill because she has this evil soul in her. And he's doing it to he's like, it's a shell game. Yeah. Like he knows Gabriel wants the soul. And so the movie is Gabriel looking for this soul, and this ex-Catholic student, like almost priest. He was going to become a priest. And then he saw hell, I think.
He saw like the angel war.
Okay. I don't know why he did, but he did.
I also don't know why Eric Stoltz showed up to warn him specifically.
I don't know. I think he's a special boy. And so he helps fight off Gabriel. He makes like a deal with the devil, but not like a deal. Like they have a common interest, and the devil shows up, and he's like, "Hey, I also want to get rid of Gabriel." I don't know why he has to make a deal with this guy. And then the devil shows up and fights Gabriel, tears at his heart, and fucking loves eating it.
Yeah. He doesn't fight Gabriel. Like, Gabriel's already down at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Casey Jones is beating him with a tire iron.
Right. Okay. And then he wins. Gabriel dies, and I think that's the movie.
Yeah, Gabriel dies. Vigo drags him to hell with him.
Right.
And Casey Jones gets his faith back, and that's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the movie. All the angels, they perch on things. I feel like that's important to know.
Yes, the angels do a lot of perching.
Yeah, then there's Tiny Face Matrix Ghoul Man, Ozzy Osbourne.
That guy was incredible.
Yeah, he's apparently an angel.
Yeah, he's got a real tiny face and little Morpheus sunglasses.
Yeah, he was something. I didn't expect an angel to look like that. Yeah, this movie is fucking weird.
Yeah, this is a weird ass movie. And like Highlander, it has this very elaborate mythology that we never get to see any of.
Yes.
Like it's just a bunch of characters talking about this very rich mythology that we don't actually get to see because it has a very small budget.
Yes. It does, doesn't it? I don't know what the budget is, but I know it made $16 million in the box office.
That sounds about right.
By the way, this came out in September 1995, so we're on the anniversary.
We are. That was totally by accident. And I have a hard time accepting that this movie was filmed in 1995.
Yeah, let's get into that. Does that qualify from our next section, or is this like just...
What is our next section?
Our next section is just questions, basically, about the film.
Yeah, that could be it, because this section is just us talking about the plot, right?
Yeah, so let's get into our next section. This is like a free...
Real quick, I wanted to step in, and your summary was great. It's nothing into summary.
Thank you. Thank you.
The reason for the war is pretty clear. It's Gabriel. It's the same reason Satan was mad. Gabriel resents people, and he resents that angels aren't God's favorite creation. So he's trying to fight. He's trying to defeat the loyal angels so that everything can be like it was before they made humans. So he basically wants to beat the loyal angels and I guess wipe out humanity.
Got it. Okay.
And he figures this really evil soul with its strategic brilliance, because apparently the conceit is that like angels don't understand warfare and he says something like spiritual betrayal or something the way that humans do, because angels just can't think that way. So yeah.
Well, let's get into our next section then.
Okay.
This is called What the Hell? This is going to be just kind of an open range like section where we just ask the questions that need to be asked.
Yeah.
And our frustrations and our confusions. And go ahead with your first thing about this being 1995.
This movie looks like it was filmed in like 1991 at the latest.
Yeah.
Like everybody's wearing extremely high-waisted pants.
I'm not seeing like a behind the scenes for this movie at all. What if it was filmed earlier? Is that possible?
I'm trying to find that, but I didn't see anything online.
It is kind of incredible to me that this was filmed after both Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or after, I'm sorry, I believe all three Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Because Turtle isn't 3.
3 came out like 1993, so yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that alone is kind of impressive that this guy, because he almost looks younger to me than Casey Jones. But also Casey Jones is like, it's the hairpiece, you're right. Casey Jones also looks just worn. It definitely doesn't feel like a 95 film. Like, what came out in 1995?
Batman Forever.
Really?
Yeah.
And The Prophecy? This feels like it could be 89.
Right.
I don't know.
Like it looks so dated. Even for
like
1995.
GoldenEye,
fucking Billy Madison. Hackers came out in 1995. Yeah.
Congo
did. Yep, that's true.
Virtuosity.
Yeah. Now we're
Judge
cooking with
Dredd.
gas. Yeah, sure. Judge Dredd.
Waterworld. But also like 12 Monkeys and 7.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, just look at 7 and look at The Prophecy. It's like the fashion in The Prophecy just seems like it's like 3 or 4 years out of date.
It really does.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering if there was like a delay on this, that they shot it a while earlier and they couldn't. I don't know, man.
It really looks like I couldn't get my mind past that.
Yeah. I have some questions about the angels.
Sure, go ahead.
What are their powers, and what's the extent of their powers? Like, they can just get beat up. Like, the Ozzy Osbourne gets, like, hucked out a window.
He sure does. And then he gets... Actually, we should talk about this.
We should talk about this.
Super murdered.
Super duper murdered, yes.
Like, Stoltz slams his neck onto a jagged piece of glass, then grabs him by the face with his thumbs in his eyes and flings him out of the window. And the guy goes cartwheeling through the sky, crashes on top of a car, and just the car explodes. And he falls off of the car into the street in front of another car, which hits him at top speed and plows him into the side of a building, and his chest explodes.
That's how you kill an angel.
That's how you kill an angel.
Is the implication that an angel, because they say that they have to pull out their heart?
Yes.
But is the idea here that it's just like the heart has to be damaged?
No, I think
is that what they actually mean?
I'm not sure. I think because you might have to remove it.
But this motherfucker doesn't get his heart removed.
I expect his heart burst out of his chest, maybe. I don't know.
Via car. Then that's what I mean. Sure. Is like, did the car technically kill him by removing his heart?
I think, like, I guess.
So if you push an angel in front of traffic, and it hits him in the chest, and like that's what it feels so like. Ceremonial. You have to remove the heart.
Yeah,
you know?
It's also very Highlander. Like, this guy loves things that are immortal, except things that are immortal but can get fucked up like Deadpool, and then the only way to kill them is to remove a specific part of the body.
Right, but what he really means is just destroy the heart. Because again, the car stuff kills this guy. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to like ritualistically remove their heart. You just have to, like, if you threw one in a wood chipper, you would kill it because that's destroying the heart along with, like, and also that's pretty much how you kill a person. But like, I get it. They're you know, like you can stab someone in the spleen and they'll die too. These guys only the heart, but it just feels like, I don't know. It's funny to me that it's not like remove the heart. It's like, no, you just have to like crush their chest.
I guess, yeah.
I guess. I don't know. They seem to feel pain. Christopher Walken, Gabriel needs like a familiar.
Yeah, to do certain things for him. Like, he can't drive.
Why not?
I don't know.
Okay. Because that's the thing is... Okay. So he has Adam Goldberg. And he later has
Amanda
Honey
Plummer.
Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he seems very... like... When he loses Adam Goldberg, he goes and gets Amanda Plummer. How does Adam Goldberg die?
Casey Jones shoots him.
Okay. So, he's like a zombie, though, too.
Sort of. Like, he's saying... Christopher Walken says, you're dying... I made you die slower.
Got it.
So he's still, like, kind of dying.
But he could at any point just kill himself because a bullet affects him.
Right, but he's under Gabriel's control somehow. Like, he has to do what Gabriel says.
So there's a part where when Ozzy Osbourne dies, the Christopher Walken is like, I need you, Adam Goldberg, to go get the evidence. Mm-hmm. Go sneak in and get this evidence.
Yeah.
And he's like, how am I supposed to do that? And he's like, just, you'd figure it out. Here's bus fare, and he gives him a coin.
Yeah, he gives him a gigantic coin. He hands him a
like
coin.
A heaven coin.
Right, he hands him a coin the size of a medallion.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's supposed to do with that coin. The bus driver is not going to take it.
No, he's going to probably put it in the slot, and the bus driver will be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And so, but then at the same time, Christopher Walken magics his way into the morgue. Mm-hmm. And, like, he walks up to, like, the cop and, like, does he knock him out? I know he knocks people out in other parts.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he can put his hand on them and they fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then he goes up to the body, he takes it out, he rubs some shit on it, and he does, like, a very Christopher Walken thing, which I'm sure we'll get to, and he magically lights it on fire. Mm-hmm. So why does he need Adam Goldberg if he can do that? Like, if he just magics his way into there. He also seems to teleport.
Maybe.
I don't know. He's perched on the top of that school at one point.
Yeah, like, it seems like he can fly, but if he can fly, why does he need a driver?
Right. Why does he need a human familiar at all?
It doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no reason why he can't do the things that he needs to get done, other than that he just doesn't want to do them because he feels like it's below him. But that's dumb, because like he's trying to steal the blackest soul in history in order to win his angel civil war. So like, get your hands dirty, man. What are you doing?
Right. And it also like seems to inhibit him. Like he's at a diner with Amanda Plummer in a hospital gown.
Yes.
And like that waitress doesn't call the cops for some reason.
No,
I don't
she
know
does.
why.
She sure doesn't.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, okay, this weirdo's hanging here with this hospital patient that he's treating like shit. I'm sure everything's fine. And like that's a like they're a liability. Adam Goldberg starts like rotting.
Yeah, he's actively rotting.
Yeah, it seems like they're a hindrance more than anything else.
You would think, yeah. He doesn't get much out of Amanda Plummer.
No, and yeah, he really doesn't. What does she do? Does she just drive him?
She drives him to the reservation where they're doing a ceremony to cast the black soul out of the little girl.
Right, so it's really unclear what Gabriel can and can't do. Or what any of these angels can. Or like
yeah, to an extent, yeah, for sure. Like it's clear Gabriel can knock people out with his words. All the angels just know everything about people.
Right. Except for where they are.
Yeah, except for where they currently are. And Gabriel seems to be less mortal than the other two angels we saw were.
Yeah.
Because he gets shot a bunch and then kind of blown up and then hit by a car, and he's still mostly fine.
I'm pretty sure they said Ozzy Osbourne has no bones.
His bones don't have growth rings.
What does that mean?
It means...
Oh, it means like he didn't grow.
Right. It means that his body is a fully adult, but also somehow brand new.
Got it.
So like he came down to earth and like that body just like manifested itself for him.
Right. They're not really dying. Like Ozzy Osbourne, he just loses his body, I assume. Like,
I guess.
I don't do any of these. The fact that Christopher Walken's back for 3 films makes me suspect that like they're just in bodies, right? Like where does an angel go when it dies?
Yeah, like they're either going to go to heaven or hell, depending.
Yeah.
Like so I imagine Eric Stoltz just got thrown right back into rotation. Up in heaven, and then
it's like a video game.
Walk in and little face Morpheus glasses, but probably both went to hell with Vigo.
Yeah,
I mean Walken explicitly like the last thing we see of Walken is he's getting dragged off by Satan, and there's a hissing sound. So it's like, yeah, you're probably going to hell.
Yeah, he's dragging him off like a cat that caught like a dead rat.
Yeah,
just like. Like goblinging away with his little like weird goth demons.
Yeah, he's got like his cool little goblin henchman.
Yeah, he's got a posse.
Yeah, well, it's a posse of one. It's like one guy.
Yeah,
it's like one.
Yeah, you're right. It's a hype man.
Right, he's got one demon, his Flava Flav demon.
Yeah, we're never gonna see Viggo Mortensen again, are we?
Oh hell no, no. Yeah, they got. I didn't spoil the movie for me, but I looked at the cast of the second film, and all of the characters are played by different actors except for Walken.
Wow.
So yeah, we're not getting Vigo again. We're not getting Virginia Madsen again. We're not even getting Casey Jones again.
I feel like that's going to be the big why at the end of this.
Right. It's like
Christopher Walken in these?
You could get Christopher Walken back for 2 more sequels, but you couldn't get Casey Jones.
You could, yeah. What does Casey Jones have to do?
I like Elias Koteas, but it's like he's not like he's nowhere near the same level of star as Christopher Walken. Right.
Was he like, sorry, I got to go be in Crash and Gattaca?
Yeah. Excuse me, I got to go
Casey
be in
Jones.
Zodiac in 2007.
I mean, honestly, Zodiac
years
is a
after.
better,
I mean, he started showing up in Fincher movies like a decade after this, so that's like down the road.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, also though, Prophecy 3 is made in the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the one I'm really curious about. Like, do you think Christopher Walken is just a walk-on, like a cameo?
No, I think he's probably in the entire movie.
Wow.
Because he's the headliner. It's not like and Christopher Walken.
Right. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
2000s Prophecy 3 The Ascent. I mean, we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, right now I think the biggest thing I want to think about watching these is how these goddamn angels function. Like, what are they? What are they doing? What are their powers? I don't get it.
They seem to have different powers.
Yeah. How? Okay. Why? So they need this guy's soul because he's good at warfare?
And it's like there was a prophecy about like an extremely black and powerful soul that would appear in human beings, that would bring the second war in heaven to an end. I don't know, dude.
So
it's the whole hand wavy prophecy thing.
Yeah, I have a question about Tom. What happens when we die in this movie?
In this movie, it is unclear.
Okay, because Satan shows up and he seems to imply that heaven's closed.
Yes. Yeah, he says that. He says that because
stay in the ground.
Yes, which connects to how Eric Stoltz is able to show up and suck the soul off of that dead guy's face, because the soul's still in the body. But when Amanda Plummer is sitting in the diner, she says, "I saw the light; it was so bright."
Yeah. And like Satan would probably be a liar, right?
He has been called the father of lies. Yeah, yes,
famous liar, Satan.
But
why is that guy's soul just hanging out in his body?
Right, especially if it's the blackest soul, you think he would take that one.
Satan would,
right? He'd be like, "Well, that's mine."
Also, like that's the weird thing is that like. It's a fucking like it's a MacGuffin. This guy's soul. Mm-hmm. It's like a football that they're passing around. Mm-hmm. But like I'm pretty sure Satan can just get that soul. He has access.
Right? Why wouldn't he be able to? And also his reason,
and he wants it,
right?
Because he doesn't want Gabriel to get it.
He doesn't want Gabriel to get it because he doesn't want. Like I was about to get into that. His reasoning, or rather his explanation for why he would prefer Gabriel not succeed in his plan, which briefly aligns his interests with the interests of the heroes, doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like he says if heaven opens back up, if Gabriel wins, it's just gonna become another hell, because Gabriel is evil.
Right.
And so if he wins, he'll destroy he'll destroy God essentially. And Lucifer explains to Casey Jones later that hell isn't fire and ice chains. It's just the absence of the word of God, which is how it's described in like Paradise Lost and things like that.
Right. So they're just hanging out down there, right? They're playing foosball and stuff.
Yeah, it's just a sucky, barren shit place.
Sure. But like they can do stuff.
You would imagine, yeah. I mean, Gabriel like derisively says something about Lucifer sitting in his basement when he talks to him. So I'm just imagining like a shitty, unfinished basement.
Yeah, and you know what those are great for? Playing D&D.
Sure.
Like I imagine D&D is huge in hell.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's the whole that's what the whole Satanic Panic was about. They figured out
that's what they were trying to tell us.
They figured out Satan's real into D&D because there's nothing else to do down there.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any videos.
No.
Like Satan doesn't have Sega.
No, he doesn't have Sega.
So he explains that like heaven will become another hell, and then he's like, I can't have that because then like what am I gonna get? Like I want those delicious souls, which I guess makes sense. But then like why didn't he take this evil guy? And like he said, and he's saying like that souls can't go to heaven, and then he's like some of them still find their way to me eventually. I'm like, but why? If they weren't going to go to heaven, why wouldn't they just immediately come down to you? Like what? Why is it hanging around in this old guy's dead body for so long?
I'm very unclear on what happens to souls, because also, so Gabriel, he keeps calling us like talking monkeys, humans.
Yeah, Satan does too.
Yes, neither of them care for people.
That was the whole point of Satan's rebellion, if you recall.
I don't recall. I wasn't there.
It's the exact same reason that Gabriel gives in this movie. Is he resents not being first in God's favor.
I know very little about the Bible.
So do I. I just know that.
Okay. Are we like pogs to them? Like, do they collect us? And it's like whoever has the better pogs.
Angels?
Us. Are we like pogs to them?
To who? To angels?
Like God and the devil.
I think the idea is that the devil tries to corrupt as many souls as he can out of spite.
Got it.
So he enjoys getting all these shitty, awful, terrible people because it's like, that's one more that's not going to God. That's mine.
So we're like pogs.
Yeah, he likes to swipe the pogs. Like, he's got all of his serial killer pogs. Got it. And, God's got like his Tom Hanks pogs.
Right. And so Gabriel is mad at the pogs because God likes them more than the angels.
Yes.
And so what is he going to do to us? Like, if he wins... I
assume he'll kill us all.
But then we'll just go to... But where do we go if he kills us all?
Not if he wins his war on God, we won't.
But does that mean we just blink out of existence?
I guess. I think what'll happen is what happens to the evil Colonel's soul at the end, which is fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark energy comes out of the sky and obliterates his soul.
What happens to him?
I think he's just not in non-existence.
Or does he go to like super hell?
Maybe
they're like, welcome to super hell.
He goes to the devil's basement.
But like the basement in the basement.
Right, the basement in the basement. And there's nothing going on in that basement, man. There's not even anybody else down there. You definitely don't get to play D&D down there.
Right. So Gabriel just wants to take over heaven and then kill everybody in heaven. I think get rid of them all.
Get rid of all the God loyalists. I don't know what he intends to do about God. That's never clear. And he never
handcuff him to a radiator.
Probably, yeah. Throw him in the Silence of the Lambs pit, I guess.
Yeah.
But he never says what their plan is for human beings.
Right. Because this is why I'm trying to figure out what the devil is concerned about.
It's not
because
clear.
He's like, it's going to become another hell, and it's like, but will it? So is the devil like the Joker, where he's like, I need you, I need Batman, and this asshole's coming along threatening Batman, and Joker's like, no, I need Batman. It's like they have like a thing going. Mm-hmm. Like the devil, like he hates God, but right. Like they might team up to kill Thanos,
Right. I mean, he hates God in the way that an ex who's not completely over the breakup hates their ex.
Got it.
Like, I think he still loves God. I think. I don't know, dude. We're getting into real territory that I don't know anything about.
Okay, well, for the record, we're not talking about the Bible.
No, we're talking about the prophecy. It's unclear.
Yeah.
It is unclear. Like, I'm trying to extrapolate what little I know about Scripture to explain what happens in the movie, because the movie itself does not do a very good job of explaining what's happening.
I'm just trying to figure out, what the devil's motivation
doesn't make
is.
sense. It does not make sense for him to intervene. And
it really doesn't.
He doesn't even really help them. Like, he shows up and he says, use his lack of faith against him. And that turns into Casey Jones hitting him with a truck and then beating his head in with a tire iron. It's like, you're really using his faith against him. Or that
devil's
that tire iron works too.
That works.
The tire iron works too.
Yeah.
Like, all he does is show up after Casey Jones has already demolished him and just rips his heart out.
He puts up a chain and ejects Gabriel from the window of a car.
It's pretty sweet.
He just goes flying from it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. That is a word for what it is.
Yeah, that is a word for what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so unclear what the devil wants in this. Unclear where souls go.
His motivation really didn't make any sense to me. Yeah. I really enjoyed Viggo's performance. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, he's great.
Did not fucking understand what his game was.
And unclear how angels function on Earth, why they need familiars.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Stoltz didn't need a familiar.
Stoltz didn't need a familiar. He was just hanging out with kids.
He was, yeah.
I want to talk about that teacher's weird lack of concern for when a man just shacks up in the school and hangs out with the children.
Right. She shows up and the little girl is sitting on Stoltz's knee sharing a Coke with him with two straws.
They're sharing a Coke
and
with what she believes is a homeless man.
Right. And then later on, she becomes incredibly sick after talking to him.
Yeah.
And they start talking to her, and then she said, "He gave me something. It's a secret." And then she says, "But sometimes it hurts." And
Yes.
they just let that pass right through them, because she starts talking about massacring people in Korea, and they're like, "Well, that's peculiar.
Yeah.
She doesn't know anything about that." Gloss right over the clear evidence of sexual assault.
In the teacher's defense, she does give a single look when the girl says that, and the look says, "Oh, I'm a terrible teacher." Like, she gives this one moment where in her look she's like, "Oh man, I fucked up," and it's like, "Yeah, you really did."
You did.
Because she finds this guy living in the school, and she's like, "I'll call the cops," and he's like, "No, you won't." And then that's it. And then she finds him on fire, having, as far as she can tell, self-immolated.
Right. He just willed himself to burst into flames, apparently, because nothing else in the room is burned.
Yeah. Also, he looks like Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, he looks like Eric Stoltz.
That's a hit against him. And so it's just like...
Well, specifically, he looks like Pulp Fiction Eric Stoltz.
Yes. He's got long hair. Oh, that's enough.
A scraggly beard and a trench coat. It's like, yeah.
That's another thing. Why do angels live like hobos?
I don't know.
They he has a sleeping bag, and there's like food wrappers.
That's true. Gabriel does. Yeah, he's living in this cave with a sleeping bag and a bunch of candy wrappers, so apparently he needs to eat. And then he's written all over the cave walls like a madman, like an obsessive madman.
They live like they're hitchhiking to Burning Man.
Yeah, it's really strange.
That's really weird. I thought they were fucking angels. Like, do they really have to like sustain themselves with food?
Well, maybe now because
sleep.
Maybe because they've become
sleep.
Maybe because they've become mortal now. I don't know.
I guess, but they only die from the heart.
That's true.
Again,
it doesn't make any sense.
It's all unclear.
Yeah, this movie makes no sense.
Yes. Final verdict, this movie makes no sense. I think maybe the sequels will answer all these questions, you know?
Oh,
maybe by the fifth movie we'll be like, I see now.
Summer child.
I don't know. Should we get to our last section?
I think so, yeah.
All right. This section for this one is called I'm Walking Here.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. Let's just talk about Christopher Walken in this.
Okay, we can do that.
He's probably the best part of this movie, right?
Yeah, him and Viggo. But yeah, Walken is so much fun to watch, and maybe that's why he did 3 of these.
Yeah, he looks like Nick Cave.
He really does.
Yeah. Or like Tommy Wiseau. He's dressed like Tommy Wiseau.
He's dressed like Tommy. He looks like Nick Cave dressed like Tommy Wiseau.
Yes. He has an entire scene where he gets to hang out with children, and all he wants to do is look in their mouths.
Yep.
By the way, that's apparently how the soul is seen.
That's how he sees it, apparently, yeah.
He checks their mouths for the soul. Like you can see it like a doctor checking like your tonsils. He is just, I don't know what we need to say about it, but it's just a whole scene where he's checking the teeth of kids. Like he's hanging out with kids outside of a school. Mm-hmm. Like it's the set of Sesame Street. Like they're all on the steps.
Yeah.
And he's like trying
he's
to
just
find...
rapping with the kids.
Yeah. And he's trying to find reasons to look in their mouths. Like he gives one kid a mint and he's like, so the kid like keeps his mouth open because he's got to check their souls, which apparently, again, even though he's an angel, he has to look in their mouths. Mm-hmm. He has one kid blow his trumpet. Mm-hmm. Is that like Gabriel has a trumpet?
He does.
Okay.
Well, it's a gag. He says you got to blow it very, very lightly because it's a special trumpet, and the kid blows it and the windows of the school shatter behind them.
Right. So he brought his trumpet with him.
Yeah, I would.
Because again, he's living like he has a sleeping bag and stuff. So he didn't just like magically, he brought that trumpet.
He did. Yeah, he brought it with him.
Yeah.
He had carry-on luggage when he came down to the planet.
Yeah. Christopher Walken, spidering through this film.
He truly is that in the truest sense of the word.
He
like a real gremlin.
Yeah, when he first like breaks into that house, he like creeps in. When he goes to Ozzy Osbourne's, he does the thing where he like greases him up, walks away, and without looking does like a pew, like a shoot thing. With his hand.
He kisses his finger and then points behind him.
Yeah, and the guy lights on fire.
Yep.
Which apparently is a power he has.
Yeah, he does have it.
It's just, hey, Christopher Walken, you want to play Gabriel, the angel Gabriel? And he's like, how should I play it? And they're like, like you.
Like a ghoulish gangster.
Yeah.
That's all I can. That's the only description I can think of.
And it's the performance of a lifetime.
It really is.
It culminates to him rocketing out of the front of a car. Mm-hmm. Like that's really the peak for me. Is because again, he's like an angel. He's like seemingly powerful. He points at things, they light on fire.
He's the angel.
Yeah. And then like hard cut to him flying out of a car.
Yep. Head first through a fucking windshield.
It's the funniest fucking
like a
thing
sack
I've
of
seen
bricks. Like a sack of bricks with Nick Cave's haircut.
Yeah. It's incredible. Is that when Amanda Plummer dies, by the way?
No, she dies shortly thereafter. She dies when Casey Jones is driving the truck to try to stop Gabriel before he gets into the yurt, I think. Maybe yurt's not the right word. But before he gets to the tent type place where they're doing the ritual. And then she bursts through the glass behind him and grabs him by the throat and is like, kill me. and then he crashes the car through the whatever the structure is. And then at that point, she's dead.
Okay.
Like I want to point out in that scene that when he rams the truck into the middle of the ritual, all of like the tribal elders do not react. They're just like, yep.
Yeah, you're right. They don't react.
They keep their cool.
The tribal elders do not react. There's this probably should have gotten the last section, but there's an overall like, it's like, and actually Christopher Walken kind of embodies this. Angels and demons kind of just seem like annoying creeps.
Yeah.
And everybody's just kind of annoyed with them.
Yeah. Like
the funniest part to me is when what's her name? Virginia Madsen sees the devil and says, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And she doesn't sound like, I can't do this, it's too much. She's like, I don't have time for this.
Right, yeah.
Like, she seems like, I don't need the devil showing up. This is bullshit.
And then later on, like, she just casually says to Casey Jones, so I saw the devil tonight.
Yeah. And then later, the devil seems like he just sort of leaves. Like, nobody's, like, interested in him. He's kind of just like everybody, he's like, come with me. And they're like, no. And he's like, all right. And then he leaves. Yeah. Like, there seems to be a lack of power. A lot of, like Christopher Walken harassing the kids. And then Virginia Madison walks up and she's just like, get away from the kids. And this like tells the kids to go inside. And he's just like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And leaves.
Well, he already knows what kid he needs. So.
Right, but he could find out where she is. He could like look into her soul, or like, you know, turn her eyes like crusted, like Ghost Rider does. Like they don't seem to have, and I guess that's the point, but they don't seem to have much power over people unless they're dying. Yeah, I mean, he does kill those cops. But other than that, yeah, but like anybody can do that, right? You're right, but other than that, it seems to be the extent of his power is knocking people out. Yeah. And then just sort of asking them, like nicely or threatening, and then being like, go away. And that's like all of them. Eric Stoltz, she's just like, I'm going to call the cops. Yeah, I think the implication there is he's a pretty low-level angel. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. They just... I don't know. They kind of suck. They absolutely suck. Yeah, they're just like these weird little creatures. Yeah. They're very insectal. Yeah, they are. They're just annoying. It makes me, like, I don't want to go to the afterlife in this world. No, not if I have to hang around with angels. Yeah, they seem like real losers. Yeah, they seem like they fucking suck. Yeah. They're like they all seem like drug dealers.
Yes, they do.
Like Eric Stoltz, Christopher Walken, they're all people you'd buy various types of drugs off of.
Right. They're each you would buy specific drugs from them.
Yeah. Eric Stoltz, you would probably buy weed, obviously, maybe nitrous, probably mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Christopher Walken, you'd buy all of the cocaine and like the creepy like upper class American Psycho drugs from.
Yeah.
And Ozzy Osbourne, well, he's got anything you want.
Yeah, it does. With his tiny little face.
Yeah, you need someone's eyeballs. He'll get you eyeballs.
Look like a fucking Dick Tracy villain.
He does. What is his deal?
I don't know. His face is so tiny.
It's so tiny. I burst into laughter when I saw it.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing.
Yeah,
because he's such the embodiment of like what people thought like a cool outsider looked like. Like he's wearing like the uniform of like, I don't know. It's very the writer of Highlander in that like he imagines this fantastical sect of people, right, and he imagines that they would all dress like this.
Yeah,
like it's something that you see in a lot of these. I mean, it's like the Matrix. It's like they all wear cool leather jackets and tiny sunglasses, which is funny as shit.
It's funny as shit. It's a ridiculous film.
You look like an asshole.
Yeah. I forgot to mention the part where the little kid, I believe, loads a gun and shoots it at Christopher Walken.
She sure does.
She loads that gun,
Listen,
right?
She's possessed by the soul of an army colonel.
Oh, okay. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, as much sense as
anything in this movie makes. At least I could connect those dots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, that I feel like we jumped around a bit. We'll do better with these sections in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because we watched this movie and then we thought about how to break it up, and so in the future we're going to watch them specifically for these sections. Like I'm going to keep an eye on that Christopher Walken fella, see what he does, see what his deal is.
Exactly.
These movies are ridiculous.
Yeah,
or so far.
This movie is bananas.
I'm excited to watch the next ones.
I don't know. I really hope it doesn't go the way of the Highlander, because that was a slog. That series.
Well, yes. Here's the one thing about this film that I will say is maybe it's because I had a little sugar and I crashed, but I almost fell asleep near the end. It is a slow film. It's like a biblical like fight, but then there's also like New York or LA street cops.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of talking, and it, like you said, it feels dated. So it's a little slow. In terms of, despite it being good or bad,
mm-hmm.
slow is always kind of a killer. So I hope it gets crazier.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see in The Prophecy 2.
Well, here's a good thing. Both The Prophecy 2 and The Prophecy 3 are only about 80 minutes.
This was only 90 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean, I support that.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah, no, I'm pro that too. Like we can watch all these in an afternoon.
Yeah.
And in the oh wow. The sequel, Bruce Abbott is the one who plays the guy, our main guy, Casey Jones.
I'm gonna need some help with that.
What? Bruce Abbott?
I don't know who Bruce Abbott is.
He is Dr. Dan Kane in The Reanimator.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. He was married to Linda Hamilton, so...
Oh, good for him.
Which is like the best thing he's done. Let's see. He was in... he's in some stuff. But mostly The Prophecy 2.
Primarily The Prophecy 2.
Yeah, and Reanimator. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. So yeah, and Bride of Reanimator. So, I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. I don't know. Any more thoughts on The Prophecy?
No. Boy, I'm just really, really flabbergasted that this exists.
I've always known it exists, but it's like the Highlander. It's always just been in this, in the back of my head. I haven't thought about it ever.
Yeah.
So
this definitely wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was like some kind of witchcraft movie. Like I think.
Oh, really?
I think I mixed these movies and the Warlock movies together.
Oh, okay. I knew this was like a weird biblical. I knew it wasn't a horror movie. I knew it was like a weird thriller. I always thought of it like, and the beginning credits really gives you these vibes. I always kind of thought of like The Omen when I think of this. I knew it had to do with like the devil and stuff. Obviously, The Omen is a much better film.
Yes.
But yeah, it's got Highlander energy, some real Highlander energy.
It has extreme Highlander energy. Yes.
Yeah. All right, I guess let's wrap up.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that thing where we stop talking about this movie.
I want to thank our patron subscriber, Bobgrenville, who is the one who made this happen. You know Bobgrenville, Tom.
I do.
Yep. Thank you so much. I would have never watched the Prophecy films if it weren't for you. And you know what? Thank you all for listening. We did this through our Patreon. You can check it out at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts there, like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder is a Maniac.
Woo!
We have tiers where you can make us watch movies. And like this tier, you can make us do podcasts.
Yeah, you can make us watch The Prophecy.
Yeah, you have that power over us. You're like Gabriel.
Yeah. We also have a store, tpublic.com/store/gamefullyunemployed, where you can get t-shirts, masks, stickers, mugs, posters, copies of The Prophecy, anything you want. We've got it.
We're like Gabriel.
We are a lot like Gabriel, yeah.
Yeah, just let us see inside of your mouths. We want to check the inside of your mouths. Send us pictures.
That's really all I want.
Yeah, I just want to see that's all I want. Give it to us.